Welcome to Leadership Shenanigans, a podcast about leading, following, and running away. I'm Fiona Girkin, the Principal Consultant at Little Things Consulting in Launceston, Tasmania. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 7, which I have called Procrastination Station, because I've been procrastinating for the last 2 years about recording more podcasts. I think I recorded 5 in 2019 and I recorded 1 in 2020, but have not done any since, but certainly talked about it a hell of a lot. So today's the day, I've scheduled it in, and it's time to stop procrastinating. But I thought I would start back with my podcast talking about procrastination because clearly I've decided that's my best skill. I'm a bit like the dog from Up that is busy talking and gets distracted by a squirrel. There's a reason my family call me Sidetrack Susie. I'll start the washing up in the kitchen and 2 minutes later I'm in the bedroom making the bed, but then I get distracted because there's washing to do, so I'm picking up clothes, I'm putting them in the machine, but then I don't turn the machine on because I get distracted by something else. There might be something on the television, and the next thing you know, the bed's half made, the washing machine's not turned on, and the water in the kitchen sink's gone cold. I really rely on deadlines, and I rely on the guilt that comes with not getting stuff done. Otherwise, it simply doesn't get done. And because my podcast was one of those things that I didn't have a deadline, I wasn't accountable to anybody except you guys that are listening, I didn't have the urgency and I didn't have the guilt. So I really had to find a way past that idea that I'll do it tomorrow. I guess that's the downside of working for yourself or being an entrepreneur. You run by your own timeline. So unless you've got a client waiting for something, it's hard to kind of push yourself to get it done. And because I'm busy doing so many things, it's hard to push past that thing that you want to do that you don't really have time to do. So what did I do to overcome my procrastination? I scheduled it in. I actually scheduled it in and said, right, Wednesday morning, first thing, going to record my podcast. And I wrote the script while I was sitting in the car, waiting to pick my husband up from work, on my phone, doing talk to text. And that seemed to work quite well as well. One of the other things I found really useful was actually listening to podcasts and listening to YouTube videos, watching YouTube videos, about procrastination. And I kind of had a little chuckle to myself. I'm like, right, now I'm procrastinating, watching procrastination videos and still not getting my podcast done, that's for sure. But what I came to realise was that, because initially I thought maybe I'm just lazy, maybe I just need to make the time and stop playing on my phone or playing video games. But then I decided, you know what, I'm actually really busy. I'm really, really busy. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a PhD student, I'm a business owner. I work across 2 universities across 2 different states in Australia, and you know what? I need that downtime. Sometimes I need to be able to play video games or play on my phone and just not think about anything because I've got so much going on. So let's talk strategy, because really nobody wants to listen to some stupid woman rabbit on about how she procrastinates about procrastinating. So I've come up with 5 strategies to help you overcome procrastination. And these have come from a variety of ideas from myself, but also other people that I've listened to and things they've done to overcome procrastination. So number 1, make a schedule and stick to it. You have to stick to it. Remind yourself of the reasons why you're doing the task and why it's important to you, and pin it up on your notice board. I'll have to share a picture on Instagram of my notice board that shows my schedule and also shows my dream board. So one of the things I put on that, I know it sounds a bit wanky, and I haven't had one before, but I've got a ton of pictures now. And one of them is a picture of a podcast mic, just to say, right, you've decided this is what you want to do. And it means that if other people see it and they ask me about it, I can actually say, yeah, no, I podcast, and it'll make me a bit more accountable. The other thing that I put with my schedule that I found really useful was something to motivate me. And what I actually put with the schedule was the number of downloads of people that have listened to my previous 6 podcasts, and the list of countries and the percentage of people from certain countries that have listened to the podcast. And I was really surprised when I actually looked at the stats. And so basically 30% of people listening to my podcast come from the United States, 15% from Australia, nearly 10% from Germany, and then a variety of other countries. And that I've had 219 downloads of my first 6 podcasts. And wow, okay, so maybe I am doing something that people actually want to listen to, and I'm not just talking to myself. So I've put that up on my board, and that's kind of motivated me to go, right, I've scheduled it in, I just need to get it done now. So number 2, make yourself accountable by telling other people. If other people know what you're doing, they're going to ask you about it. And if people ask you about it, you're going to feel guilty if you haven't done it. Let's face it. I've got a million excuses for myself when it's just me and me alone deciding whether I'm going to do something or not. So you need to make yourself accountable. You need that little bit of level of anxiety and guilt so that you can get it done. And the third strategy is one that I've heard people talk about a lot, and that is breaking the task into smaller tasks. So for me, doing the podcast, I started with the schedule. I said, right, you just need to write yourself a script. And, 5 minutes in the car, waiting for my husband, normally watching TikTok or Facebook. It was a good time to do that. Making sure that I had all the little boxes ticked of things I had to do. So today I decided, right, Wednesdays, I will just record the podcast. I won't feel overwhelmed by the fact that I've still got to edit it, I've still got to upload it, I've still got to write a description. I'm just going to record what I want to say and tick that box to say that, right, that's been done. And I've given myself 2 days to upload this. One of the procrastination videos I watched while I was procrastinating was a guy called Tim Urban. He was doing a TED Talk called Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator. And he talks about being a procrastinator himself and how he overcomes that and what procrastination actually is. I'll put a link in the description because it's a fantastic video, and I had a really good laugh, and it made me realise that I'm just as bad. See what I mean? Sidetrack Susie strikes again. I was only up to point 3, and I decided to go on and talk about something else. Point 4, strategy 4. And this is a big one these days, is you need to remove all distractions. Because picking up your phone every 2 minutes to check if someone liked the photo you took on the weekend with your friends at some party is a distraction. And social media and devices of any description that are constantly going bing, bing, bing are certainly a massive distraction. So you have to take away those things that distract you. Which brings me to point and strategy number 5 is you need to reward yourself. So maybe it's about putting those things down and going, right, I'm going to work on my task for half an hour, and after half an hour, I get 5 minutes to check Facebook, to check Instagram, to look at TikTok, to do one of those things I want to do. But in the meantime, I'm going to turn my phone off or stick it in a drawer or put it in another room so that I don't get distracted. So distraction and reward, I guess, can come hand in hand in some ways, because the thing that distracts you, you can actually use to your advantage by making it your reward. So they're my 5 simple strategies for avoiding procrastination. I haven't decided what my reward is yet for today for getting this done. I might high-five myself, which could just be weird. I don't know. I'll have to come up with a reward for myself for getting this done. But I'm not going to get too excited. I've got till Friday to upload this. I want to thank everyone for listening and everyone who in the past has listened. And if you're new to my podcast, please go back and listen to my other episodes. I'm fairly new to this, so I'm still learning. So sometimes it can be a bit clunky, but I really love doing this. I love talking. I hope in the future to be able to do things like interviews, because I know people like to hear interviews on podcasts. And if you'd like to hear more about my work, feel free to follow me on social media. So I'm a management leadership consultant. I focus on toxic workplaces and resolving toxic workplace issues. And I'm currently doing a PhD in workplace psychopaths. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to joining you again next week. I've been Fiona Girkin.